Okay, hello friends and followers. Here is the Central Electronics 100V transmitter, and I finally got these capacitors installed here. There was drilling, there was grinding, there was hacking. So the whole premise was this capacitor here had a large hole for it itself. It had a bunch of different leads on it. These two had small holes. So what I did to install those was to raise them off with standoffs so I could put wires through the small holes. And so that is the logic here on how that was done. I had a heck of a time getting this one to fit. These two fit fine. Plus, drilling these holes was difficult in that you don't want to damage the wire harness below. You don't really know where the hole's going to come out down there until you go digging for it. So I lucked out, I guess, and got this thing at least physically done. So I had to grind the bracket on this one a bit to get it in there, bend it around. It finally fit, and kind of force this thing even over and tape a screw to the screwdriver to get it to go down and feed into there. That was a bummer, but I finally got that in there. So now I want to check these things for shorts, make sure nothing's shorted, and if they're not shorted, I want to wire these things to the bottom and go through the bottom of this thing and get it squared away. So that's where I'm at. This has taken me all day just to get these capacitors in here. I think the parts for these came yesterday or something, so I kind of jumped on it, but let's take a look underneath this thing now at what needs to be done. Make some room for it and spin it over. This thing is always heavy. I think it's like a 60-pound radio or something. It's big. It's built like a battleship. All right, and there's that damn choke. I am so sick of this choke being loose by one wire holding it. I should pull the choke out. I just don't want to lose track of where the wire goes. Anyway, I had to pull off this plug here to gain access to get some of the screws in down there for the capacitor standoffs. Let's take a look if we can at what's in here. So yeah, there's one of the screws you can see right down below. It's kind of below the horizontal screw you can see in the middle of the picture. The other screw you can see right through there on the right. And there's a few more. So what I have to do now in here is I yanked out the little rectifier that was here. The selenium rectifier is gone. The previous owner put in these capacitors. I got to get these out of here. I want to get the selenium rectifier circuit running. Each of the capacitors which I installed has a black and red wire coming off of them, and those pretty much connect over to here somewhere. I think they connect on this terminal strip right here, so get that all squared away and see if this thing will fire up. So lots of loose wires here hanging around, lots of problems I got to figure out because this thing was modified by the previous owner. That person had put a bunch of capacitors in, kind of bushwhacked a bunch in here. I ripped all those out, and I've tried to do it the right way by putting in real capacitors with real values in the real holes and mount them real secure. So that's where I've been on this thing. I hope it works. I've already got a bunch of work in this thing. Anyway, I also put a line cord on it recently. I didn't ground a line cord to the frame yet because the frame could be, this thing could be leaky and it might blow my ground fault interrupters on the house here. So I don't want to go through that. Anyway, that's where I'm at on this thing. I still want to clear these out, put in the rated capacitor. I actually have pictures of one of these from eBay that was being sold. I have decent pictures of a real bottom of where the capacitors go. So I want to get it back to being original as close as I can with how it looked. I've replaced these capacitors here. I think those were 40 UFs. The owner put those on there, the ex-owner. So I bought some of these from Mouser and put them in. So slowly and surely, this is getting fixed. This CAN capacitor here is the only CAN capacitor left is this one. It's probably bad. I might Mickey Mouse in some capacitors on this thing because I don't want to tear it out, but we'll see. I guess that one's easy to work with. So this is where the selenium rectifier went, and I want to get that all straightened out. So anyway, I guess I'm rambling on. I'll provide more video once this gets more progress. So 2 chokes on here. One's for the high voltage. I think one's for the bias even. No, they have a little choke for the bias. I think that's a bias choke. High voltage, and the other one I think is for the low voltage, for the 340 volts, and one's for 600 volts. Here's Joe Batchelor's coils, what he struggled with in Georgia, making these things in his TV shop, and Joe and his wife perfected these, and I guess Wes, Shum, and maybe Zenith helped out in the end, getting these packed up for production. Those are the wideband coils. This one doesn't look too good. I hope it's not shorted. It's got some, looks like it melted or something. I don't know, but I'm not anywhere near fixing those yet. I had a short in the band switch somewhere. I couldn't find the short, but when I wiggled this, B+ would short out. So the pink wire in this thing is B+. It's called, wire's called PK for pink, and here's the resistor 1.4K. I put a 5 watt in here just because that short had smoked out the 2 watt in here, so we'll see if that smokes out or not with the short. Hopefully I burned the short out with, I did put 12 volts and about 5 amps in here, 15 volts to try and smoke out the short. And I think the short's mostly gone. We'll see. I have no idea where the short was down here, or what was shorting. Couldn't find it. It's a part, couldn't find it. Anyway, here's the power supply section. I gotta get that all remedied. And that's it. I did go through the VFO, and I have other videos about the VFO that are previous to this one. VFO still may not oscillate. I had it oscillating for a while, but it may be broken. I don't know. Mechanically, I have it working now, but electrically, we'll see what happens. It may have to come out again. Anyway, this radio has been a lot of work. I hope it's going to be fun to use when I'm done with it. I've seen people use this thing on YouTube, and it looks fun. All right, well, thanks for watching. That's my update on the Central Electronics 100V transmitter. Stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.